Well, just before you go, I'll put the second one to you as well, just so you don't come back again, is regarding enlistment. So I've got a number of emails. I've raised this before again in defence about the difficulty Australians are having in regards to enlisting into the military, particularly young people. I've got a number of emails here from military families who cannot get their sons into the military. I'll read one email. My son Nathan has been attempting to join the Australian Army as an enlisted soldier for the last 10 months. This process has been amazingly slow and inefficient, with documents being requested multiple times, interviews being cancelled and moved, my son being asked back for multiple interviews and finally being rejected for the ADF gap year. I'll just read the next part. I think he was told to join Toastmasters to work on his communication. Nathan is a sound communicator, engaging in both drama and writing at school, in addition to music and football. He also took on the lead role in his school's high school musical performance, while still volunteering to assist in set-up and instruction. I guess my point is, why are you going to the extent for people who clearly, young Australian men and women, who are clearly good communicators, fit and able-bodied, why are you making it so difficult for them to join the military?
Senator, I can't talk to the particular circumstances.
No, I'm not asking you to join the
individuals, but clearly we need to grow the military to meet our targets. We are working on that recruiting system to ensure that can be the case. We've been on the public record that the recruiting system has not been delivering the outcome that we have needed, and we have been working to address those areas in its performance that had been most impacting the recruiting rates. But I will ask the specialist to talk to you more broadly.
Senator Rennick, Lieutenant General Natasha Fox, Chief of Personnel. In relation to the individual, there are many reasons that people are unable to join the military, and depending on the role that they were applying for, there may have been requirements for additional information. For instance, if it was an aviation role, there's a requirement for additional testing in and around medical requirements to perform aviation roles. And
this wasn't an aviation role, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as gap year does have some aviation roles.
Right.
So in terms of the numbers of people recruiting, we've apologised in the past in terms of it is too slow, but we're working on measures to address the velocity in the pipeline for people to join the ADF. Depending on the role, sometimes there are more people who want the role than actually targets available for the particular role linked to the design of the Australian Defence Force. So there are multiple aspects that impact a person's journey through Defence Force recruiting, and we're working with our partner Adecco in relation to speeding up that time frame. In fact, it's a focus of work that we're undertaking this year in particular about that velocity. CDF mentioned in his opening statement the volume of people that are applying to join the ADF is significant, and in fact for the first time in the forecast to recruit to the permanent force this year, we will exceed numbers that we haven't recruited since the early 2000s.
Okay, great. I mean, I guess, I always thought the military was a place where you go, if people went to knock them into shape, but it seems to me there's this attitude that they've got to sort themselves out before they join. And, from what I hear, what I read, I don't pretend to be an expert on defence matters, is that there is a shortage in recruitment. You're struggling to recruit. So I just don't understand why you'd be making it harder for children, especially children of military families with military backgrounds, to actually join up.
Without understanding the specifics, Senator Rennick, I can't tell you where they...
No, I accept that. I mean, and this, these are, I'm surprised at how many emails I get, because I'm not out there in the military space, because, I didn't serve in the military, so I'm not,
There are a number of requirements to join the military. I wouldn't say you join to knock people into shape. Given the role that the Australian Defence Force performs, we need to make sure that the people who do join the military are able to be employed and deployed in environments where they can be perform their role in a safe manner, both for themselves but also for their teammates. So we do take that enlistment criteria quite seriously in terms of how we assess people to join. We assess people based on their aptitude, their potential to undertake roles, their medical conditions, their psychological conditions, and criminal and background checks to ensure that the behaviours, as well as actually the ability to achieve a security clearance, so that the Australian Defence Force is able to employ the capabilities and our roles as required.
Okay, thank you.
Authorised G. Rennick People First Chermside.